Thank you so much for coming back. This is a new video. Let's read some stories. Let's build some worlds. Story number 1. Am I the a-hole for stopping a kid from cutting a line and jumping straight to the front? I was hosting a show recently, which apparently also made me the de facto sheriff of the meet and greet. We had a solid rhythm going. The line was about 10 kids deep when a kid, maybe 6 or 7, decided the rules of physics and social etiquette didn't apply to her. She bolted past everyone and anchored herself right at the front. Her dad followed, trailing behind her like a silent accomplice. I stepped in immediately. Hey there, we are all super excited, but our friends here have been waiting their turn. You'll need to head to the back of the queue. The dad hit me with a glare that could melt paint, but he grabbed her hand and moved. I thought that was it. I was wrong. Instead of heading to the back, he hovered on the perimeter like a hawk. The second mom in line got distracted by her phone. He slid his daughter right back into the gap. I caught the security guard's eye, gave a subtle nod, and walked back over. Looks like we lost our way again, I said, keeping the host voice polite but firm. The end of the line is back that way. The dad finally snapped. We were already in line. We have been waiting. I understand the wait is tough, sir, but everyone else is in the same boat, and they've been holding their spot in the actual line. He said, "You really gonna be that guy who tells a little girl she has to go to the back?" I didn't even blink. I dropped down to eye level with the kid, gave her my best teaching moment. Hey, I know waiting is the worst part. We have to be fair to everyone else, right? You wouldn't want someone jumping in front of you after you'd been standing here forever, would you? The kid nodded. Even she knew her father was wrong. I stood up, looked the dad in the eye, gave him the ultimate choice. He could continue the debate with my friend from security, or he could walk to the back. He chose the latter, grumbling the whole way. But here's the tricky part, the weirdest part. A few other parents nearby gave me the side eye. I overheard a couple of moms whispering that I was being too much and should have just let the kid cut. In my book, teaching a kid that being cute is a fast pass to disrespecting others isn't doing them any favors. Am I the a-hole for doing that? Of course not. I think you know you're not. But you just want a confirmation maybe? I don't know. I encourage your response to that situation. That child is gonna learn that lesson today, and you probably saved his community and the entire world from a future 40-year-old entitled citizen that thinks that the world is her playground and that they should care about absolutely no one but their own comfort and well-being. I keep saying this all the time, and this is like one of my hot takes. Adults don't really exist. There is no such thing as an adult. It's not like there's a stage where they morph into adults. They are just bigger, older children that were either raised well or not. The whole phrase, he's just a kid and he's gonna grow older, he's gonna get more mature, it grinds my gears big time. It's like we're deciding to cut them a slack because one day you're just gonna magically become perfectly behaved adults, regardless of any previous bad experience that took place in their childhood. You're not the a-hole in my book. People, I've noticed there's like a trend. Please, raise your kids. Raise them properly. Next story. Am I the a-hole for not wanting to be a content creator for 1 year because I actually want to study engineering instead? I'm 18. I just graduated high school with a 4.2 GPA. and all I've ever wanted to be is a mechanical engineer. I want to build things that actually exist in the physical world. But in my house, if it isn't captured in 4K and uploaded on YouTube, it didn't happen. My parents are full-time family vloggers. They started their YouTube channel when I was 10, and since then, they have religiously made videos every day ever since, never missing a single day. And to be honest, we're pretty financially stable. Like, very much so. We live in a massive 6-bedroom house with a pool and 3 luxury cars. I don't know what luxury cars mean, but I'll take it. But I feel like a prop in a long-running sitcom I never auditioned for. I got accepted at University of Michigan, and instead of celebrating, I feel like I'm planning a prison break. When I sat them down yesterday to tell them I was accepting my scholarship and moving into the dorms this fall, the reaction wasn't pride, it was panic. My dad didn't even congratulate me. He just pulled up a spreadsheet on his laptop, showed me our YouTube analytics, and told me that the audience is most invested in my life right now. And that they had already planned a spin-off channel for me. They want me to take a gap year, which we all know would turn into a permanent career, to move into a content house they're financing in LA. They've already scouted 3 other influencer kids for me to collaborate with. When I told them I wasn't going, that I wanted to study the stuff that I'm passionate about, my mom actually started crying. Not because she was sad for me, but because she said I was being deeply selfish to the family brand. She told me that if the channel views drop, because I'm not there to be the relatable teen, they might have to sell the house, sell the cars, and my younger sister would have to leave her private school. The guilt tripping is insane. My dad told me that I'm too good for the hand that feeds me, and that engineering is a waste of effort, when I could be making 7 figures a year just by being myself on camera. He said just 1 year and you will have more money in your bank account than all your professors' combined salary. I snapped and told them that myself is a person who hates cameras, who wants a real job, not someone who spends 4 hours filming freaking hide and seek challenges in a mansion. Now they have cut off my phone plan, told me I'm responsible for my own tuition since I'm abandoning the family business, and they're currently filming a vlog titled "Our Son is Leaving Us," where they are definitely going to paint me as the villain to their 3 million subscribers. My sister, whom I'm very close to, is begging me to just do the LA house for 1 year so our family can keep making money and we wouldn't have to move and sell everything. And I feel like the weight of my parents' financial empire is being pushed onto my shoulders. They're treating me like a traitor for wanting a career that doesn't involve people validation and requests. Am I the a-hole for refusing to be their cash cow and choosing a boring degree over the family business? Okay, this is lots of things, lots of variables are happening in this story, but I like this story and I feel I can give pretty solid feedback with this one. Okay, so the first thing I have to say is you have to stay with me till the end of this feedback, because you're definitely gonna hate me if you don't listen to me to the end. In this life, we have choices. You want to study engineering? That's your choice. You can move to that university, University of Michigan, and you can pursue a career in engineering. Right now, we can do that. But there is a huge chance they might decide to cut you off financially and refuse to pay you a dime. But know one thing, okay? Life these days is difficult to live. Almost everyone that I know on a personal or a semi-personal level is struggling to make ends meet. Now, don't get me wrong, I understand that not everyone wants to be in front of a ring light and shoot videos all day and have streams. Some of us want to study things that make us feel intellectually satisfied, and that we understand things that we didn't understand a few years ago or a few months ago, and to help build a better world, which is certainly one of the reasons why I'm pursuing a career in medicine. But, and unfortunately, there is always a but in these situations. But while pursuing these things, you are going to live long years where nothing seems to be working out. You will stay late at night trying to study for something. You won't make ends meet financially. You will have to work a shitty job under an employer who's probably underqualified compared to you, just so you can save a couple $100 every week. You will doubt yourself. You will have second thoughts pretty much many days. Dr. Mike, someone who I follow on YouTube, is a very good example. Dr. Mike came to the US as an immigrant from Russia. I think he came maybe late 90s, something like that. No money. His parents had to learn English because they don't speak English. They're coming from Russia. They had to learn English to work in the US so they can raise their kids. I think Dr. Mike has like maybe 2 siblings or 1 sibling or something. Dr. Mike was never this ultra successful doctor and ultra successful YouTuber with, I think he has 15 million subscribers and probably more than likely millions of dollars in his bank account. He struggled. He spent long nights. Neither me nor you were living with him during those nights. We didn't. And the sad thing about this is no one is gonna care that you're going through those issues. No one. You might have dreams of being an extremely successful engineer who's making it rain 300,000 a year, 500,000 a year. But there is a long journey that no one tells you about. Having money in your bank account makes that journey less horrible and more bearable. My brother, at the end of the day, this is your life. Do what you want. You said a content creation house in LA. I think I'm pretty old. I'm almost at UNC status. I don't really know what that is. What's a content creation house? But as long as there is no drug use, no illegal, explicit content being made, and you will have your dignity. And obviously, if you want to take my advice, this is my take, okay? Take that gap year, make money during that year, obviously only if you can guarantee that the money you're making is going into your own bank account. So it's legally your money. That's it. But yeah, obviously you're not the a-hole for not wanting to do that. I'm just giving you my advice because the videos, these stories that I'm reading and reacting to, most of the time they have nothing to do with this, with just the verdict. I want to give you the help. I want to give you the feedback that is gonna give you a solution that you're probably not aware of. Your parents only asked for 1 year, okay? So you're not really throwing your life completely to be a full-time content creator. You're just making enough money so that the beginning of your journey is, bearable and not paved with freaking barbed wire. As much as I hate to admit it, money is the primary force that pushes things forward. Without money, all your dreams will take a hit. No one cares about your dreams. Absolutely no one. But again, only do the things that you're comfortable with. For example, my dad didn't want me to study medicine. He said that I'm gonna live my entire life taking exams. In his words, he said until I'm 70 years old, and that I'm gonna ruin my social life because I'm gonna be studying all the time, and that I should pick something else. I didn't listen to him. Not because I'm a bad son or anything. It's because I had no other alternative. In your case here, with your family, you have an alternative. 1 year, lock in, make money. Make sure it's your money, because this is like very, very important. Go to Michigan, enjoy your life as an engineering student. Good luck, my friend. Maybe we'll meet one day. Maybe not. Next story. Am I the a-hole for cutting my cousin's wife and her aunt completely? For cutting off my cousin's wife and her aunt completely after she embarrassed my wife about our fertility issues in front of our family. I have officially cut ties with my cousin's wife, Beatrix, and I don't care if the rest of the family thinks I'm unhinged or not. My wife, Rebecca, and I have been married for 3 years. For the last 2, Beatrix has made it her personal mission to track Rebecca's cycle. Every family gathering, she's there with a playful nudge, asking when the real family is starting or commenting on why Rebecca isn't eating soft cheese or drinking wine. It was annoying, but we tolerated it for the sake of family peace. What Beatrix didn't know, or so we thought, is that we've actually been struggling. We've been seeing a specialist at a fertility clinic for 8 months. It's been an exhausting, emotional, and expensive roller coaster. Last month, in a moment of vulnerability, during a private coffee date, Rebecca confessed to her favorite aunt that we are undergoing treatment. She just needed a shoulder to cry on and begged her to keep it between them. Well, her aunt apparently let it slip to Beatrix, and instead of having an ounce of empathy, Beatrix decided to use that information as a weapon. It happened at my brother's birthday party. We were all in the kitchen when Beatrix loudly asked Rebecca if she wanted a cocktail. When Rebecca politely declined, Beatrix didn't just wink, she smirked and said, "Oh, right. I forgot you guys are seeing a doctor to, make it happen. I heard alcohol is bad. Any news from the clinic, or the reason is still unknown?" The room went dead silent. Rebecca's face went completely pale. She looked like she had been slapped. To have her most private, painful struggle broadcasted as a joke at a party was the final straw. I felt a level of rage I have never experienced. I stood between them and told Beatrix that she was a pathetic, bottom-feeding, lifeless parasite who didn't deserve to be in the same room as my wife. I told her that she had no right to mention our medical business, and that as far as I was concerned, she was dead to us forever. I grabbed our coats, tried to comfort my wife, who was crying and looking down the entire time, and blocked Beatrix and her aunt before we even left the driveway. My cousin is messaging me nonstop, telling me I humiliated his wife and that Beatrix was just trying to break the ice about a taboo subject. Her aunt is crying because I have blocked her too, claiming she didn't mean any harm by telling Beatrix. They're all saying that after 3 years of marriage, I should expect people to be invested in our journey. I don't give a damn about their investment. I care about my wife. To see my wife devastated and speechless by something she has no control over makes me sick to my stomach. Am I the a-hole for doing that? I need some time after these stories because it's ridiculous. Absolutely not the a-hole. That is in fact the best thing to do to such people. If only you had done that like 2 years ago when it all started. I'm not even married, but I can't imagine putting my wife in such situations where she feels helpless and horrible. Such comments, they cause unspeakable damage, which is maybe not completely related to this, but this is why, in this life, it is always better to shut things down the moment they develop. You don't wait 2 years just because you want to keep the quiet and peace of the family, because more than likely, you're going to take the damage eventually. Also, you probably need to cut your cousin off too. He doesn't really care about your wife at all. He thinks that him and his wife are the center of the universe, Everyone else is just background noise. The thing about family, it's not just blood, by the way. Family is those who care about you at all times. I have some friends that I've known since primary school that are closer to me than my actual relatives. So don't be upset about this. You should prioritize your wife. You should prioritize yourself over these clowns. Good luck to both of you. I have a question for you guys, because I really don't have an answer for this. Maybe you can help a confused man. Why are there such people in this world like that individual Beatrix? Like, what gain is she gonna make exactly from humiliating someone for absolutely no reason? Is it because they're ignorant? Is it because they're doing it on purpose? Is it because they're bitter? Why? Next story. Am I the a-hole for telling my friend that someone else was coming with us to the movies? So I invited my friend to a movie and he said yes. Meanwhile, I asked a girl from work. She's married with kids and wanted to bring her 9-year-old kid. I said no problem and bought 4 tickets. I told my friend and he said he didn't want to third wheel, and I explained it wasn't like that. And she was bringing her son, who also wanted to see the movie. They don't know each other, but I didn't see that as an issue, as it was just a movie with friends. He said he wasn't going out, but I just laughed and assumed he was joking. 30 minutes before the movie, he texted me to let him know how the movie was. I was confused and realized he wasn't joking when he said he wasn't going earlier. In his defense, I could have mentioned that there was 2 other people coming, but I feel like he could have been clearer with saying he no longer wants to go. Didn't he just say that? He said I'm not going, but I reacted to the message and moved on. Basically, I asked for the money for the ticket, and after a lot of back and forth, he sent it over, then proceeded to remove me from Instagram and block me on WhatsApp, which I think was an overreaction. I think we both could have handled things differently, but I booked the tickets when he agreed to go, regardless if he had all the information or not. I feel like if the shoe was on the other foot, if I changed my mind, it would be my problem, not his. Am I the a-hole? Yeah. I honestly think, and don't get me wrong, I think that even yourself know that you're an a-hole. This is like the date where this guy asked the girl out and this girl brought like 14 family members to eat with her because she thought for some reason it was an open buffet. Listen, if you ask someone if you want to go out to see a movie, if you want to go out to the park to talk, if you want to eat sushi, whatever, and then you bring a stranger woman with her 9-year-old kid, you're a very, very unusual friend, and you might fail to understand simple social cues. The best thing about this story, is your friend's reaction. He realizes he's saving himself from unnecessary future headache by just paying the $15 or whatever its price. On a second note, I don't want to be an a-hole too by scolding you. So I'm going to give you like an advice. Next time, when you invite someone, try to not invite another person unless it's agreed or discussed upon beforehand. Good luck. Next story. Am I the a-hole for not telling my best friend I was the one who interviewed and rejected her? My 29F best friend Deborah has been having a brutal time. We both work in marketing. She was laid off from a senior role 8 months ago and hasn't been able to land anything since. It has been rough on her confidence and her finances. I have been her rock listening to her vent, helping her polish her resume, and covering her coffee, dinner, when we go out. 3 months ago, I landed a dream job as a senior marketing manager at a prestigious firm. Deborah was genuinely happy for me, though I knew it stung that I got the level of role she's been chasing. Last month, my firm posted a job for a content marketing specialist. It's a step down from what Deborah used to do, but in this market, a job is a job. Deborah applied immediately. The way our HR process works, the hiring manager, which would be my future boss, he doesn't see all the applicants. HR does an initial keyword/credential screen, and then they assign a blind first round portfolio review to one of the senior team members, which includes me. The resumes and portfolios are stripped of names to reduce bias. Okay, I know where this is going. About 2 weeks ago, I opened my HR portal to my assigned reviews. One portfolio jumped out at me instantly. I helped build it. It was Deborah's. I love her like a sister, but her portfolio was not ready. She still uses design aesthetics from 2018. Her writing samples, while grammatically perfect, they are just very dry and very corporate, whereas our brand is punchy and trendy. I was stuck in an ethical nightmare. On one hand, pass her through, I would be recommending someone I know is not a good fit. If she got interviewed by my boss and she bombed it, it would look incredibly bad on me, since the HR system does log who approved which candidate. Even if the candidate's name is blind during the review, my boss might question my judgment right after hiring me. Option 2, disclose my conflict of interest. I could tell HR, hey, this is my best friend. They would remove me, and someone else on my team would review her, but the result would likely be the same. They would reject her, and then they would know I was friends with a subpar candidate. Option 3, be an objective professional. I scored her portfolio exactly as I scored the others. Our metrics focus on brand alignment, modern design aesthetics, tone of voice, and she failed on all 3. I chose option 3. I hit the reject button in the portal. 2 days later, Debbie got the generic rejection email. She called me crying. She said I applied for a specialist role, not even a manager, and even this place didn't want me. I listened to her sob for an hour. I told her the market is crazy and they probably had 500 applicants and that some other person just got lucky. I hated every second of it. I feel sick, but I also feel like telling her the truth, that I personally assessed her work as not good enough, would completely destroy her. She would see it as a betrayal of our friendship, not a professional assessment. I'm keeping this secret to save our friendship. Am I the a-hole for not being honest about why she was rejected? So let me get this straight. You helped her build her portfolio to the point where you recognized it immediately. But when she used it, you deemed it outdated and not up to par with your company. So you either helped her to make a bad portfolio or you didn't want her to be accepted. Because I'm having a hard time understanding this. Why didn't you go with the second option that you brought up, to let someone else do the appraisal or the rating or the acceptance of her portfolio? Because now, at least she has a 50-50 chance instead of a 0 chance. Because with you were already gonna reject her. But with another person, statistically, it's a 50-50. I may be wrong, but my instinct is usually pretty spot on. There is something wrong about you, lady. I'm not saying you need to accept her, but I'm saying you could have handled this in a different way. Since the company put you to the initial vetting of the applications? Why didn't you help her in a way that would make her fit the criteria of your company? There are lots of questions that need an answer. In my opinion, you're definitely the a-hole for lying to her and not even telling her why she wasn't accepted. One thing I don't need an answer for because I already know. Once your friend Deborah, once she found out what you did, I really doubt she's still gonna be your friend. There is still room for you to come clean though. You can confess exactly what happened and that you can help her change her portfolio into something better. Or not. At the end of the day, it really depends on your actual character. Was that the last story? Yes, that was the last story. With that being said, guys, I feel I have to finish this video. There are no more stories. Thank you so much for listening to me. I hope my video made it to be your number one go-to video whenever you're eating or doing some chores or building a world in Minecraft. I love all of you. Feedback is not just allowed, it is encouraged. I will debate any of you. I will debate any of my takes in the comments if any of you provided a counter argument why I'm in the wrong. Take care. Good night.